रञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारी जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव माई की जय, नरसिंह भगवान की जय, पंचतत्व की जय, षड गोस्वामी की जय, गुरु परंपरा की जय, श्री गोपाल गुरुदेव से ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Before reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality God Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Shri Vyasdeva, the author. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart, someone is completely destroyed. Loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So, Hare Krishna Buddhist Mataji, welcome all for this Srimad Bhagavatam session. So, we will recite discussing verse number 4, 19, 38. So, let us recite the verse first. Satvam vimrishyasya bhavam prajapate sankalpanam vishva srijam pipiprihi aindrim chamayam upadharma mataram प्रचंड पाखंड पथम प्रभोजहि सत्वं विमृश्यास्य भवम प्रजापते संकल्पनं विश्व सृजां पिपीपृहि ऐन्द्रीं च मायाम् उपधर्म मातरम् प्रचंड पाखंड पथम प्रभोजहि. Any two of you can recite. Mataji and Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
सत्वं विमिश्र्यास्य भवं प्रजापते संकल्पनं विश्वसृजं पिप्रीः ऐन्द्रीं च मायामुपधर्ममातरं प्रचण्डपाखण्डपथं प्रभोजहि. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Any Prabhu want to recite?
May Prabhuji, I'll try.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Sattvam vimarsyasya bhavam prajapati sankalpanam visva srajam pipipri aindrim cha upadaramam prachanda patham prabodhyahi.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Synonymous word to word meaning. Sir, therefore said, Tvam, you, Vimirshya, considering, Asya of the world, Bhavam, existence. Prajapati, or protector of the people. Sankalpanam, the determination. Vishwasrajam, of the progenitors of the world. Pipiprihi, just fulfill. Aindrim, created by the king of heaven. Cha, also, Mayam, illusion. Upadharma, of the religious system of so-called sannyasa. Mataram, the mother. Prachanda, furious, dangerous. Pakhanda Patham, the path of sinful activities. Prabhu, O Lord, Jahi, please conquer. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Please hear the translation and purport. O protector of the people in general, please consider the purpose of your being incarnated by Lord Vishnu. The irreligious principles created by Indra are but mothers of so many unwanted religions. Please therefore stop these imitations immediately. Purport. Lord Brahma addresses King Prithu as Prajapati, just to remind him of his great responsibility in maintaining the peace and prosperity of the citizens. Maharaj Prithu was empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead for this purpose only. It is the duty of the ideal king to see that people are properly executing religious principles. Lord Brahma especially requested King Prithu to conquer the pseudo-religious principles produced by King Indra. In other words, it is the duty of the state or king to put a stop to pseudo-religious systems produced by unscrupulous persons. Originally, a religious principle is one, given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it comes through the channel of discipline succession in two forms. Lord Brahma requested Prithu Maharaj to desist from his unnecessary competition with Indra, who was determined to stop Prithu Maharaj from completing 100 yajnas. Instead of creating adverse reactions, it was better for Maharaj Prithu to stop the yajnas in the interest of his original purpose as an incarnation. This purpose was to establish good government and set things in the right order. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Om Gyantamurandasya Jnananjana Chakshurmitavena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamahyam Dadati Sabadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Tapadkamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sagan Raghunathamitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Naritashi Vishakal Tamascha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shaban Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Mancha Kalpatarubhishcha Kripa Sindhu Bhavecha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yonta Pravishya Mamavach Mima Prasuptam Sanjeevayati Klashakti Dharasvadamna Anyam च हस्तचरणश्रवतो गादि प्राणानमो भगवते शायितभ्यं मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातं वन्दे परमात्मानं नमो विष्णुपदाय विष्णुपृष्ठाय भूतलेश्वराय महाश्वसान्ते नाम्ने नमो विष्णुपदाय जय श्री कृष्ण So Hare Krishna Buddhist Mataji, thank you very much for joining and keeping your appointment with Krishna today, 19th of November 2025. So 4:19:38. It's a wonderful verse. Let's see what we can learn. In fact, in the 34th verse of this chapter, which is spoken by Lord Brahma to Prithu Maharaj, where he says, My dear king, do not be agitated and anxious because your sacrifices have not been properly executed due to providential impediments. Kindly take my words with great respect. We should always remember that if something happens by providential arrangement, we should not be very sorry. The more we try to rectify such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest region of materialistic thought. A very nice verse, 34th verse, which Brahma spoke to King Prithu. See, envy must be absent in our lives. Prithu Maharaj was a great personality and a perfect king. He did all the sacrifices for the benefit of the country. So whatever he did was the glorification of Krishna and as a duty as a king. So he was advised to perform 100 Ashwamedha sacrifices. So the sacrifices Prithu Maharaj did were actually enjoined by the scriptures. And Mother Earth flourished under his rule. Prithu Maharaj was told the Lord would personally come to the sacrificial arena to bestow all the benedictions. So Prithu Maharaj's most motive, in performing the sacrifice was not personal. It's not personal gratification. Prithu Maharaj started performing sacrifices and he had performed 99 sacrifices. And now Indra became worried. Srila Prabhupada writes that Indra became envious that another living entity would reach a position held by him. So he was looking at the sacrifice in a totally different angle. He saw at me as a means to an end. But we should understand that our sacrifice is our service. If we start thinking that after doing this sacrifice, I will get this and that, then we will not be peaceful in our devotion service. We will be agitated. We become greedy, and there is no end to this greed. See, in the material world, there are so many sinful tendencies, but they can be spiritualized. There is only one quality that cannot be brought from the material realm to the spiritual realm, and that is envy. Envy is the only quality that must be absent in our spiritual life, if at all we want to succeed. Indra, he somehow or the other wanted to stop Prithu Maharaj from performing the 100 sacrifices, especially the 100th sacrifice, right? So envy leads to lack of tolerance. Envy leads to lack of tolerance. You cannot tolerate anything. See, in the beginning of devotional service, we may be tolerant because our heart is simple. But sometimes, instead of growing in devotional service, we grow in the framework of the formality of devotional service without taking into account the heart of devotional service. So envy must be absent in our lives. Material motives must be rejected. Very important point. So Prithu Maharaj wanted to sacrifice for a higher cause. So Indra wanted to sacrifice for his cause. So he became anxious and he could not tolerate. So what happened was he decided to stop the 100th sacrifice. So just when the 100th sacrifice was going to take place, and the sacrificial horse was moving around the kingdom, Indra became a thief. He stole the horse. But he was very elaborate in his stealing arrangements. You know what? He dressed himself as a sannyasi, disguising like that. And he walked away with the horse. If a sannyasi is walking away with something, we will not stop. So sage Atri Muni, he saw this, right? So he could understand that this was not a real sannyasi. So he called the son of Prithu Maharaj and asked him to stop Indra. But when Prithu Maharaj's son saw that it is a sannyasi, he did not catch him. So later Indra released the horse, right? And again, when the sacrifice was about to be performed, Indra ran away with the horse again in the disguise of a sannyasi. This Indra was the reason for starting the unbona fide sampradaya. Not at all bona fide. That is why Shukadeva Goswami, he takes pains to start Srimad Bhagavatam by saying, Dharma projita kaitavo atra. The second verse of Bhagavatam, 112. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated. Sorry, excuse me. Oh, yeah. So, so cheating religion is defined. Sorry, 1 minute. So completely rejecting dharma projita kaitavatra. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated. So cheating religion is defined as a religion with material motives. So the moment we have material motives, it poisons. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains that even a single small minute drop of liquor added to a pot of pure milk, it will spoil the entire content of the pot. So this is the effect of cheating religion. And you have to be careful. Otherwise, with all our tilaka, dhoti, kurta, our heart is full of anxiety and agitation. Then we blame anyone and everyone, right? We blame the structure, we blame the framework, the practice, everything, the whole process we blame. We start feeling very sorry for ourselves. And we do not realize that the liquor has contaminated the entire pot. See, we should accept the providential arrangement. See, it came to a point where Prithu Maharaj decided enough is enough. He decided to kill Indra. Indra was bent upon stopping Prithu Maharaj hitting the century marker. Indra had the world record. And he didn't. Sorry. So he did not want anyone, right? The point is, Indra was bent upon stopping Prithu Maharaj hitting the century, right? So, Indra, he had the world record. He did not want anyone to equal the world record. It is like that in devotional service, sometimes we do not want anyone else to be on par with us. If someone is better than us, we become angry and agitated. That is a symptom of envy. If someone is doing better in devotional service, we should feel happy for that person. So now Prithu Maharaj decided to counteract. Prithu Maharaj was waiting with his bow and arrow. And when he was about to shoot them on Indra, Brahmana stopped Prithu Maharaj and reminded him for the purpose of the sacrifice. See, the sacrifice is done to glorify Krishna. The Brahmanas advised Prithu Maharaj to concentrate on the object of sacrifice. But King Prithu said that the object of sacrifice, which is the horse, is being stolen. Brahmana said the object of sacrifice is not the horse, but it is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. But without the horse, sacrifice cannot be finished. So now the Brahmanas revealed their great wisdom. They said, we will kill Indra. When they were about to utter mantras to kill Indra, they were stopped by Brahmaji. Brahmaji then advised that Indra is not the reason for the difficulties, and he is just a providential arrangement. Brahma declared to Prithu Maharaj that whatever benefits he could get by performing 100 sacrifices, he will get by 99 sacrifices. See, we should understand that the essence is a devotional mentality. See, sometimes you also get caught up with numbers in devotional service, that we forget the purpose behind the numbers. See, Krishna is not counting how many times you chanted. Krishna is not counting how many times you chanted. Krishna is counting when you are chanting, whom are you remembering, right? When you are chanting, whom are you remembering? That is the point. Krishna is concerned with the essence of our devotional mentality. That is what is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is not interested in the details because details can change according to time, place, and circumstances. But we are so caught up because of our material upbringing by numbers and by showing that numbers equal success. We get caught up with the formalities of the middle world. And we forget the real part of the spiritual world is to glorify Krishna. See, can anyone put a value in terms of the numbers on how many plates of prasadam we distributed? How many devotees have been made and make a report to Krishna that for this amount I should get so many merit points and bonus points? It does not work that way. Brahmaji had to come down to instruct Prithu Maharaj that it is not the 100 sacrifices that matter. It is what attitude you put in the sacrifice that matters. If you are agitated and anxious, they are symptoms of envy. So Prithu Maharaj was a great personality. But a little bit of Indra's presence in his life changed the course of his life. Please understand this point. He was a great personality, but little bit of Indra's presence, changed his course of life also. So once Guru Maharaj was asked, how did such a great personality become angry, agitated and anxious? Maharaj gave a nice point in reply. He said, This is because Prithu Maharaj took the association of Indra, Asat Sangha. How did he take the association? Prithu Maharaj was not holding hands with Indra, but he was meditating on Indra when Indra kept on doing this. Right? So Prithu Maharaj's mind kept on thinking of Indra. And the more you remember that which causes you agitation and anxiety, unknown to you, like poison, that anxiety, that envy also gets transferred to us. Just as devotional service is subtle, Asat Sangha is also subtle. We must be very careful about our association. Prithu Maharaj hardly touched Indra, okay? But he already absorbed the qualities of Indra. We are already meditating on him. So how much careful we should be in our daily lives. That is why when we are clear about why we are here in this middle world, then our sadhu sangha begins. Be with Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, spiritual master, Prabhupada. So we must become submissive and obedient. So when Prithu Maharaj was told by Brahma not to be angry with Indra, Prithu Maharaj immediately obeyed Brahmaji. So this is the way out of anger, way out of agitation, way out of anxiety, that we obey our spiritual masters. We obey the advanced devotees. We obey our well-wishers. So if they tell us something which is faulty in us, do not jump on them. Instead, bow before them and say, Prabhu, you are right. Where there is smoke, there must be fire. Even though I may not be seeing my faults, you have seen them. Let me try to change. See, a devotee who has this kind of heart, Krishna loves to enter in his heart. A devotee who closes the heart, how can Krishna enter his heart? So this is very important, and we can only develop this if we hear. So what did Prithu Maharaj do? He heard Brahmaji. This is Shravanam. Shravanam means to hear the holy names of Krishna and hear with respect the devotees who are sent person engaged at the lotus feet of Krishna. And Brahma was Dhritahari because he tightly was holding onto the lotus feet of Krishna. So Brahma's Sadhu Sangha helped Prithu Maharaj to come out of the Asat Sangha with Indra. And in that moment, that Prithu Maharaj opened his heart to Sadhu Sangha, he became submissive. So to leave anger, agitation, anxiety, to leave the pride and envy, we must be submissive and hear from great devotees. See, remember Prabhupada's standard of a pure devotee is anyone other than us is a pure devotee. So if we simply follow that, very simple simply in our hearts, without looking at the faults, right, and taking good from everyone, how much we will be peaceful and advanced in devotional service. We will never lose anything, right? So what is the loss in hearing from someone, from authority? See, even a child can teach us something. See, my Guru Maharaj very often knew all the verses in Srimad Bhagavatam. But the point to understand is, but if some devotee enthusiastically called him from outside, right, called on the phone and said, Maharaj, I went through this verse. It's very nice. Then Maharaj would not say, I know the verse. He would not say like that. There's some disturbance. Mute yourself, please. He will not say, I know the verse. What Maharaj would say, he said, hold on, just a minute. And he would go and Maharaj would bring his notebook and a pen and come back to the phone and say, tell me, son, which verse it is. And Maharaj would refer to the verse and write down the verse in the notebook and say, thank you, son, I will meditate on the verse. See what? And then 2 days later, he will call the devotee and will share his realizations on the verse. And when Maharaj took lectures, he would say, that devotee is so nice. He has taught me a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. And if you look, Maharaj's diary, that verse would have already been written by him 10 times 3 years ago. This is Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha just does not mean you sit down with Sadhu and hear Sadhu. It means what we hear, we put into practice. That is the key. See, there's a wonderful statement which has to be engraved in our hearts in order to enable us to carry on a peaceful life in this world, which is full of miseries. The secret formula given in such simple words it is that, as my Guru Maharaj said, it is definitely not possible for us to change our destiny. It is definitely not possible for us to change our destiny. But there is only one way by which we can change our destiny. That is by going along with Krishna, wherever he is taking us. And this way, Krishna will be pleased with us and bestow all his mercy on us. See, I was simply stunned, when I saw a similar instruction being given by Lord Brahma to Maharaj Prithu. King Prithu was a directly empowered incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So see, he initiated the performance of 100 hot sacrifice. So when King Indra, right, he saw this, he could not tolerate because he feared that he will lose his position as Indra. See, nobody in this middle world is able to tolerate another's advancement. Why? Being completely envious. So when King Prithu was performing the 100 sacrifice, horse sacrifice, King Indra, invisible to everyone, stole the horse intended for sacrifice, disguising himself as a sannyasi. So he did like this several times in the false dress of a mendicant, right? So Indra was responsible for introducing such irregular sannyasa orders. So King Prithu became very, very angry, extremely angry at this misbehavior of King Indra. And along with the sages, he was about to cast Indra into the fire. At that time, Brahma appeared and told him not to do that. So Lord Brahma was very much concerned that if King Prithu opposes Indra any further, Indra will further misuse his power and introduce many other religious systems. So King Prithu was determined to perform 100 sacrifices. But Lord Brahma pacified King Prithu and gave this wonderful 1934 verse, right? See, we all plan to do so many things, even in devotion service. If something doesn't work out according to our plan, what happens? We become completely agitated, morose, disappointed, frustrated. And we make so many efforts to rectify the reversals. And in the process, we're full of anxiety and disturbance. We completely lose our peace of mind, right? We're unable to carry on with our devotion service. That's why Srila Prabhupada instructs, although there may be sufficient cause for being unhappy, one should avoid counteracting such reversals. For the more we become implicated in rectifying such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest regions of material anxiety. We should tolerate things instead of being agitated. To tolerate is very important. So here you can see that even though Lord Indra was wrong, right, and King Prithu was right, Brahma requested King Prithu to desist from unnecessary competition in the interest of his original purpose as an incarnation. See, in our personal lives also, we start to believe that our positions are more important than our happiness and peace. If you want to be more peaceful person, then we must understand that being right is never more important than allowing ourselves to be happy. The way to be happy is to let go. Let other people be right. So we'll experience the peace of letting go, as well as joy of letting others be right. Then the other person will gradually become less defensive and more loving towards us. So in this way, we can peacefully carry on with our devotion service. So this instruction is extremely important for us because we are always agitated even when small things go wrong. The ultimate benefit of following this principle of not trying to rectify the reversals is that Krishna will be pleased with us. And what more do we want? So in this pastime also we can find that Krishna was simply captivated by the excellent behavior of King Prithu, who concluded a peace with King Indra and bestowed all his mercy upon King Prithu. So you can see from all the pastimes of Krishna that he's very, very liberal in his dealings with others. So in this fourth canto, we find that King Indra becomes envious of King Prithu. Right? So the priests, they were performing sacrifice. They decided to cast Indra into the fire. So when they were just ready to put the oblation in the fire, Brahma appeared and stopped them. This by speaking in 419, 30th verse, he said. So he also advised that if Indra is opposed any further, he will further misuse his power. And thereby he will introduce many other irreligious systems. To avoid all this, Prithu Maharaj, who is thoroughly aware of the path of liberation, should stop with 99 yajnas and should not be angry with King Indra. The Lord Brahma also reminded King Prithu of the purpose of his incarnation, that is to protect the religious principles. So if he's opposing Indra, then the religious principles will come up, right? So he's telling him. See, in one of the lectures on this verse, he highlighted the instructions given by Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma pointed out the good in King Indra, that he was powerful, chief of demigods, part and parcel of Krishna. So Lord Brahma, he did not dwell on the faults of Indra, of being envious and fearful and duplicitous. No. Since King Prithu was an elevated personality, Brahma, instead of asking Indra to give up his envy and stop the religious process, actually asked King Prithu to stop the sacrifice. So this gives us a lot of instructions. We can see that Lord Brahma was very much interested in the protection of the religious systems, and he did not want a fight to go on between two powerful personalities. Lord Brahma, he was considering the point that even though Indra was envious, still he was trying to do service by holding a responsible position. And if this service is to continue, then there should be a conducive environment for that. So Lord Brahma, being aware of Indra's weaknesses and his determination to stop the yajna, Brahma rightly approached King Prithu, thus enabling the continuation of Indra's service and also stoppage of religious activities. So you can also see that King Prithu, by immediately accepting the instructions of Lord Brahma, okay, shows us how we should be following and cooperating with the authorities, leaving the authority to do the judgment and the required rectification. We can see that, right? This is the way of the advanced devotees. So they do not focus too much on the faults of the living entities, but they see that somehow or the other, this living entity is engaged in the service of Krishna. In this way, they try to encourage and protect our devotional service. And thus they pave the way for our purification in course of time. Srila Prabhupada writes in one of his letters, those who are advanced devotees try to see only the good that other devotees are doing, right? Just as bees are attracted to honey, while flies are attracted to swords. So my Guru Maharaj always appreciates each and every soul, and he always sees how this living entity can be engaged in Krishna service. He fixes them in service according to their inner potentialities and protects them in their service. See, we never realize that every time we think of the person who is envious of us and try to counteract him, we actually develop envy towards him within our hearts. More we try to rectify the situation, we start planning more and more, and our mind becomes so full with only these thoughts. So there is no place for Krishna. So how to counteract envious people? How to counteract? We're actually not counteracting them, not counteracting them. We should do the exact opposite of what they do. If they are spreading bad names about us, we should glorify them wherever we go. If they spread hatred about us, we should spread love for them. If they show frowning face when they see us, we should be pleasingly smiling at them. So these behaviors, it will act like cool moon rays on their hearts, burning out of envy, right? We should sincerely pray for their well-being. Ultimately, They will repent their faults and rectify themselves. This is what happened in this episode. As Prithu Maharaj, he lovingly hugged Indra and forgave him, even though he stole the horses meant for sacrifice. And Indra repented at seeing the good nature of Prithu Maharaj. So having a good nature is not only beneficial in reducing the envy of the parties involved, but it also brings down Supreme Lord's Krishna's merciful glance upon us. So on seeing the exalted behavior of Prithu Maharaj, Lord Vishnu personally came down and showed his mercy upon him. He says these beautiful words confirming this point in 4:20:16 Bhagavatam, where he says, "My dear king, I am very captivated by your elevated qualities and excellent behavior, and thus I am very favorably inclined towards you. You may therefore ask from me any benediction you like." One who does not possess elevated qualities and behavior cannot possibly achieve my favor simply by performance of sacrifices or severe austerities or Mr. Yoga. Right. But they always remain equipoised in the heart of one who is also equipoised in all circumstances. So when we face the effects of another person's envy, we always feel victimized because we attach ourselves to the so many temporary name, fame, and wealth. Correct, no? But if we think for a moment, simply by developing the loving nature towards even those who hate us, we can captivate the Supreme Personality of God Krishna. So unless we develop such good qualities, we can only keep boasting of our so-called devotional service. Neither others will be attracted to us nor the Supreme Lord. Let us pray to Supreme Lord to bestow upon us these good qualities so that we will leave this world at least with a good heart rather than the so-called name and fame. Right? Just become an instrument in Krishna's hands. See, Lord Krishna is very transcendently sarcastical, no, in Bhagavad Gita 11:33, where he says, "No, Arjuna, you are Savyasachin, expert shooter of arrows, but you are my instrument." Then Arjuna might ask, "Why are you sending me to the battlefield?" Krishna says, "Because you just become my instrument for your own purification. Become my instrument for your own purification. Because you need to be an instrument, right? Your devotional service needs you to be an instrument, right? Very simple. So you accept this body because it is subject to laws of middle nature. But you accept it because it is the will of Krishna. See, Ajamila accepted a life without Krishna. But Krishna did not want that. And then Krishna said, "You need this." So he took a chanting Narayana very seriously, and Ajamila was liberated. Haridas Thakur was Namacharya, chanting like anything, right? But he was whipped so many times in marketplaces, 21 times. He was not allowed to enter into Jagannath Puri. Can we imagine? But Krishna wanted him to be Namacharya. So when he was whipped, he did not complain to Krishna. What did he do? He increased his rounds, as if his rounds were not enough. 3 lakh rounds is already. Namacharya, he thought, Haridas Thakur thought, it is my misdeed. I am getting whipped. So I must increase my rounds. Chitraketu Maharaj was cursed by Parvati Mata because he was laughing, seeing Parvati Mata sitting on the lap of Lord Shiva. Chitraketu Maharaj had no business, but he looked at Parvati Mata sitting on the lap of Lord Shiva in the midst of all sages. He laughed, thinking how wondrous it was. Lord Shiva saw him and laugh, and he laughed also, thinking it is wonderful. But Parvati Mata took offense and she cursed him. The moment he was cursed, he did not come down and say, "How can you curse me? Just before this, I had darshan of Lord Sankarsana, so I can't be cursed. I am eternally liberated." But Chitraketu Maharaj came down and with folded hands accepted the curse. He said, "Defect is mine, I need it." He accepted it because it is a need. Next life, he became Vritrasura and he went back to Krishna. The curse was needed to quicken his going back to God. Narada Muni was a powerful Gandharva. Once being intoxicated, he started chanting Devata's names instead of Krishna. So all the Prajapatis were upset with him and cursed him to be born as the son of a maidservant. It was needed because his mother served the Bhaktivedanta sages. He had sadhu sangha, Narada Muni. All attachment was gone. So to make the last attachment go, Krishna took his mother also. So by the will of providence, she was bitten by a snake and she died. So Narada took it that Krishna wants it. So my Guru Maharaj always said, Krishna wants it. That is why you have to go through it. If he doesn't want, you don't need it. Don't lament. So this is the greatness of understanding science of devotional service. The point is very important that we should always understand that even if we are put in reversals, we should not become agitated. In fact, in this chapter, the 1934 verse, it's a very, very important verse. In fact, my Guru Maharaj has put 3 ticks in his personal copy of Bhagavatam. That much important is this verse. So this verse spoken by Brahmaji to Prithu Maharaj, right? So by the grace, Brahmaji told Prithu Maharaj, right, by the grace of Krishna, result of 100 sacrifice you are getting in 99 sacrifice. Krishna does not want you to finish 100 sacrifice. So the point, see, Prithu Maharaj is a plenary portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Krishna is not sanctioning himself also this, right? Amazing verse, amazing statements. So can we argue with these statements in Srimad Bhagavatam? Sacrifice means focusing on the real purpose of glorifying Krishna. So when Prithu Maharaj saw that Indra was stealing the horse in the guise of a sannyasi, he wanted to kill Indra. So at that time, he was stopped from killing Indra and reminded of the purpose of the yajna, and that is to glorify Krishna. So Bhagavatam tells us that any activity which we do becomes too much burdensome when it is not meant for glorification of Krishna. As a result, we become disturbed. And when we become disturbed, we blame everyone and forget that it is our sadhana that is lacking. Because there is no sadhana, there is no sacrificing attitude. So when the sages were about to chant some mantras to kill Indra, Brahmaji decides to come to the scene, right? He says, my dear Prithu Maharaj, accept my blessings. I now declare that you have performed 100 yajnas. Your 99 yajnas are as good as 100 because you performed them to glorify Krishna. Krishna is not interested in numbers. He is not interested in the century. So do not worry about missing the century. Your name and fame will be known throughout, more than even Indra. You will protect your citizens very nicely. And because of a right attitude in the performance of sacrifice, Lord is willing to compromise. The magic number is not important. It is the mood in which you perform the activity that is more important. So while chanting our rounds, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare, we should keep in our heart that every round is meant for glorifying Krishna. And the mood is, that is what is important. My Guru Maharaj was asked a question. What is important in chanting? Quantity or quality? Maharaj said, Srila Prabhupada said that one moon is better than many stars because one moon shines much more than all the blinking stars. In the same way, if we chant our rounds with quality, naturally 16 rounds will be no problem. We will go beyond 16 rounds because Krishna will give us the taste to chant. If we chant because we have to hit the magical number 16, then we become disturbed. 16 rounds purifies us when we chant with quality. So Krishna is so kind that even if we do not chant with quality, eventually he purifies us, right? But do we want to wait until that day comes, or we want to use the transcendental knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, which is giving us perform devotional service, pleasing to Krishna? What do we want? So that is the question we have to ask ourselves. Finally, Brahmaji tells Prithu Maharaj, my dear Prithu Maharaj, do not be distracted and sidetracked from the real purpose of the sacrifice. The real purpose is to glorify Krishna. Do not be sidetracked by Indra Leelas, or anything else. Be focused. Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. Be focused on why you have come to Krishna. Just before going to work in the morning, be focused on why you are going to work. And be reminded that is true, that is to glorify Krishna through your work. So sacrifice means sincerity. So what Once, see, the question was, what is the difference between an advanced devotee and a struggling devotee? 5 minutes. How? After the class is finished, a struggling devotee will talk about anything and everything except the class he heard. He will not contemplate. An advanced devotee listens to the class, takes it back in his heart, and meditates on and contemplates on those. By contemplation, Krishna gives him the mercy to understand and relish the devotional activities. That is why great devotees of the Lord are always peaceful, even while performing activities. That is why when we just rush through our devotional service without quality, we do not perform it as a sacrifice to Krishna. Devotional service becomes motivated. So once it is motivated, you can be sure it will be interrupted. So Indra's devotional service was interrupted many times. So when we take up Krishna consciousness, we should be sincere. Sincerity will free us from karma. That is the golden secret of this wonderful pastime. Finally, Vaishnavas do not compete but cooperate. Prithu Maharaj dropped all ill feelings about Indra. Lord Vishnu himself descended in the sacrificial arena to bless the king. This is the immediate reciprocation Krishna gives when you leave asatsanga, anger, agitation, and anxiety, and you follow the lotus feet of Krishna and follow the lotus feet of devotees. Accept that the true object of sacrifice is to glorify Krishna. Krishna was very happy with all the proceedings, and Krishna brought Indra along with him. Indra could not stand before Prithu Maharaj after all that has happened, right? But Indra took sadhu sangha of Krishna. Prithu Maharaj went up to Indra and embraced him. Indra became very shameful for his asampradaya and all his disguises. And they fell at each other's feet. So Prabhupada writes, both King Indra and Maharaj Prithu were envious and angry with each other. But since both of them were Vaishnavas or servants of Lord Vishnu, it was their duty to adjust the cause of their envy. To adjust their cause of their envy. This is also a first-class example of cooperative behavior between Vaishnavas. See, in the present days, because people are not Vaishnavas, they fight perpetually among one another and are vanquished without finishing the mission of human life. So there is a great need to propagate the Krishna conscious movement in the world so that even though people sometimes become angry and malicious towards one another, because of their being Krishna conscious, right? Such rivalry, competition, envy can be adjusted without difficulty. Vaishnavas do not compete. They cooperate and encourage and help each other. In that way, Vaishnavas are always peaceful with each other. We should never forget why we started this devotional service. To glorify Krishna and see that he is pleased and the devotees come closer to Krishna. See, we are not here to sacrifice for a motive, for a number, for a century, for name, fame, and designation. The moment these go out of the room, within no time, Supreme Personality God Krishna is revealed in our hearts. Let's stop here. Thank you very much, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Tagopam Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sandhuvayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo. Any questions or any points? It was very useful for you to put in practice. You can share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Every
Krishna
word that you spoke is an invaluable gem, Prabhuji. If you have envy in your heart, Krishna will never enter into your heart. And definitely, you have to take providential reversals without agitation and with lot of patience. And Vaishnavas don't compete; they will cooperate and they will neutralize the whatever differences between them in a very smooth manner. And you have elaborated and touched on every point, Prabhuji, and I have to definitely meditate and contemplate your lecture again and again to purify myself. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for all
Thank
this.
you. Thank you, Madhu. You are an advanced devotee because I told you, difference between an advanced and a struggling devotee. After the class, you'll meditate, right? That's what. Chai. Nice, Madhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna Mataji.
Yes, there are so many points to take, but this one more point I would like to add, which touched me today, is this. You talked about Prithu Maharaj uh, associated with Indra. We never mind think of that when we are talking about someone. We are associating with his or her qualities at that time. We criticize people. Then we say no. We were just like talking about that. We don't think of this or something. But we do not. I never realized that I am associating with that person in that time, and this is how I'm also getting all those negative or whatever the qualities that person has. Generally, we do not sit alone and appreciate someone. Generally, we sit for criticizing people behind the back. So this is very important point for me to take today. That never talk about a person whom you have not liked for something. Talk about devotees and their qualities, because I will associate with their good qualities and maybe they will become a part of me in that time. So huge learning for me, Prabhuji. Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
very nice.
Prabhuji.
Thank you for that. Wonderful, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Yes, Prabhuji, that subtle association, even I was not aware. And this is a huge revelation for me, Prabhuji. Every word that you spoke. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Gurudev ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it takes more a period of some time to change that thing, to
True.
come out of the thing. It's mindset. It's difficult to, it's very difficult to come out like, that envy will always be there for some time.
Yes, bro. Sorry. Thank you, Prabhu. Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guruji, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay. So anyways, that's what the association. Very nice points, which we should meditate on. That means that's why all the Maharajas, Acharyas, they always take the good qualities, always think on the meditate on the good qualities. So they have also become good. Whereas if you, although associate doesn't mean physically you are present with them, mentally you are thinking of all those bad things and all, then ultimately you are having Sangha. So that's a very powerful point for us to understand through this episode. And how obedient, right? Prithu Maharaj was so obedient, immediately stopped. Indra also, he also stopped. Because Prithu Maharaj stopped, he also stopped completely. It's not that he still continued, right? Maybe sometimes he might do again. Oh, nothing of that sort. This is very powerful. So they're all devotees of Krishna. So the
Those things
Vaishnavas
also
always
happen
cooperate.
for of the moment,
Very nice point.
Prabhuji.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Krishna. Okay, stop here.
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Another
Krishna.
point that you told about how Guruji wrote everything, whatever devotee used to come and chant about that Bhagavad Gita shloka. And it shows such a high level of I don't know, I'm मेरे मुंह से बात ही नहीं निकलता है कि वो कितना बड़प्पन होगा उनका, such greatness of his that he has jotted it down and he has told like that, no? It's
Yeah, of course. And the devotee who said he might be feeling so encouraged, right? He was so much encouraged to read more and understand things and get right. This is very nice. These are the qualities we have to imbibe, right, from the great devotees.
Yes,
So
Prabhuji.
it's very useful. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
It speaks about the simplicity, Prabhuji.
Yes, absolutely. Simplicity. That the word simple is simple, but we are not.
Yeah.
We always complicate things.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Let's stop here now. Thank you very much, Professor Mataji, for this opportunity to glorify and purify ourselves. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Uttam Dham Prabhu, Swayam Prabhu Mataji, Suresh Prabhu, Nirmala Mataji. Thank you, Ganesh Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Kalyan Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, धन्यवाद.
Dhanyavad, dhanyavad. Galaxy, I don't know. Prabhuji or Mataji.